Are they going to be deported or not?
We are looking at ways to create additional options for dealing with the children in particular, consistent with our laws and our values.
I'm trying to get an answer to, will most of them end up staying, in your judgment?
I think we need to find more efficient, effective ways to turn this tide around generally, and we've already begun to do that.
Yeah, keep trying, David. He never answers it. The White House says that illegal immigrant children inundating the United States will be deported, but floods of illegals continue to stream across the border, and the president now backing off on his request to expedite the deportation process. Will we ever get a straight answer? Join us right now to explain what's really going on. Legal analyst Peter Johnson.
And people have said, what's the straight talk? Where are these kids going? Who's taking care of them? So let's do the W's about these children that have come. More than 50,000. Who handles them upon arrival? The Customs and Border Patrol agents apprehend, processes, and detains them. Then ICE transports them to something called the Office of Refugee Resettlement. That's right, and it takes custody from there. ORR, as it's known, has a division of children's services. And the ORR budget for unaccompanied alien children last year was $868 million. It's going to be blown out this year.
Substantial. Meanwhile, what are the children entitled to?
They're entitled to what any children are entitled to, really, in the United States. Shelter care, legal assistance, family reunification, and kids that remain in ORR get government-funded education, mental and medical health services to make sure that they're okay.
And who's going to pay for the school?
You are. We are. The taxpayers. The American taxpayer is going to pay it with increased taxes. That budget may double this year.
When will the children be released?
That's an interesting question. A child remains in a shelter or with a foster parent until a real sponsor is identified. Between 2008 and 10, the length of stay in these ORR care averaged 61 days, went up to 700 days. The average length of stay now is allegedly 35 days, but I question that.
Okay, so after they're released, they go where?
Again, an interesting question. They can go to 4, 5, or 6 different places. To a parent in Guatemala, Central America, Mexico. To a legal guardian, perhaps here in the United States. 3, an adult relative. 4, a licensed program willing to accept legal custody of these children. And right now, the federal government is got a request for proposals for about $500 million for such programs, or an adult or entity approved by the ORR.
Okay, here's a final question for you, Peter Johnson, and it is what David Gregory tried to get the answer to. Will they be deported?
Well, let's say what the law is. They're going to be judged on a case-by-case basis and involves an interview with an immigration services agent. There's about 260 immigration judges in 59 immigration courts in the U.S. Listen to this statistics. In 2008, about 8,000 kids were deported. In 2013, as the numbers are going up, less than 2,000 were actually deported. So we've had different answers from John Kerry, from the White House press secretary, and no answer from Jay Johnson, head of Department of Homeland Security, as to what they're going to do. My belief is that based upon past statistics, a high ratio of these children will wind up remaining in the United States. Is there the political will to deport or remove these children? Time will tell. Will we forget that they're there and just continue to pay for them as they go forward? Unclear.
It's interesting you said it could result in higher taxes for all of us.
Absolutely.
Straight around the corner. All right, Peter Johnson, that was excellent. A lot of details right there. All right.